All right, now let's talk about these voting laws. They're stuck in the courts, as we mentioned, and a Pulaski County judge is putting up blocks, and Attorney General Leslie Rutledge is trying to take those blocks away.
But how could these laws impact you? THV 11's Sarah Herbakowitz breaks it all down for us.
Arkansans all have the right to vote in free and equal elections, but how that process happens can change with new laws determining everything from polling hours to who's eligible to vote and possibly changing how Arkansans can make their voice heard. It's Pulaski County Clerk Terry Hollingsworth's job to apply those laws.
We need to have some guidelines, some rules to follow by so that it would be free and fair for all people to be able to vote.
Last year, 4 laws were passed on who can be at the polls, voter identification, voting signatures, and when you can return an absentee ballot in person.
Laws over time can change due to maybe we need to update and improve the laws that we have to fit modern times.
There's a lot of back and forth right now in the courts about whether these laws line up with that constitutional right to vote. So let's run through what they mean. The first, Act 728, would forbid anyone who's not there to vote from coming within 100 feet of a polling site. That's except for children and someone legally assisting the voter.
If you're trying to give somebody some food or a snack or, some water, you are not able to do that within that 100 feet area.
The second act, 249, would mostly impact absentee voters and require everyone to show a photo ID.
If you're going to vote by absentee, then you must have your ID in the packet.
The third act, 736, would more closely enforce ballot signatures to match registration.
I'm not a handwriting expert, neither are my staff members. And so then we've got to try to figure out, is this that person that says that they are?
And the fourth, Act 973, would bring up the deadline for Arkansas voters to hand in their absentee ballot in person, changing from the day before Election Day to the Friday before.
Usually voters were given at least that Monday before. And so that could be kind of confusing, which could make a problem for folks who are trying to vote.
But earlier this month, these laws were blocked by Pulaski Circuit Judge Wendell Griffin, saying they were unconstitutional in making voting more difficult. Many Democrats agree with the ruling. Senator Elliott fighting against these bills from the start.
I want you to know the legislators who are fighting for you have done everything they can do.
But many Republicans support some of the stricter laws. Attorney General Leslie Rutledge announced this week she's going to appeal a decision Governor Asa Hutchinson agrees with. Governor Hutchinson saying, quote, states should be left with the flexibility to protect the integrity of the ballot box, and the Supreme Court will have the opportunity to review the constitutionality of these laws. So these laws, whether you believe they can improve security, obstruct voting, or even somewhere in between, could change how you vote in the next election. Reporting, Sarah Herbakowitz, THV 11 News.
Sarah, thanks so much. The state's new redistricting map for voters is also being contested in the courts.
2 lawsuits now claim the new district lines from a majority Republican-led legislature dilute the influence of black voters. And we're going to continue to follow those lawsuits as proceedings continue.